The modern sows are reaching high production, but for this consequence, these sows present some negative aspects. Of course, this behavior is related with environmental aspects, and each farm is different than other farm. But I think that the problem is concentrated in 3 or 4 aspects: the immunity, the longevity, and the aspect of health. Then we observed it in these last years a high levels of mortality.
Welcome to Swine Canada, brought to you by Genetics. I'm Aline Ramos, dedicated to bringing you the latest insights and discussions in the swine industry. Get ready to expand your knowledge, stay ahead of today's episode, and we are very, very happy to have with us Dr. Caio Silva. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Aline. I'm very glad with this opportunity. I think that this is the second time that I participate of this podcast. I'm very, very glad.
And it's awesome because I always open with a little joke saying to them to tune their radio because you have someone with a Brazilian accent. So now we are two, so they will have to get used to us, right?
No problem. Yeah.
So, Dr. Silva, could you tell us a little bit about your background, how you came to work with swine production?
I started my work 40 years ago. My career started in 2 private companies, PIC and a cooperative. And after, I initiate my career as professor in Londrina State University. I'm retired last month of Londrina State University, but I still run like professor in the postgraduate course, Animal Science, where I'm a professor and advisor of, at the moment, of 4 students. Also, I have a private company of research specialized in swine, and this company is called AKEI. It has 10 years old, and together my activity in Londrina State University, I wish to go ahead for a long time.
That is fantastic. So even if technically you're close to retirement, it doesn't mean that you're going to abandon us. You'll continue to training young scientists, and you continue working with your company. That's great. We're happy.
Yeah. I too.
So I come to understand that you work more in the soil productivity aspect, right? So what do you think of the high performance of the modern soils and the limits that we are reaching with them?
Yes, Aline. I think that the modern soils are reaching high production, but for this consequence, these soils present some negative aspects. Of course, this behavior is related with environmental aspects, and each farm is different than other farm. But I think that the problem is concentrated in 3 or 4 aspects: the immunity, the longevity, and the aspect of health. Then we observed it in these last years a high levels of mortality, of problems related with these aspects.
Dr. Silva, just to give us, our listeners here in Canada, an idea, could you give us just an average of the soil productivity in Brazil that you used to see? And when you're talking about mortality, can you give us a number, and if it does happen more in one cycle or another?
Yes, for us, this number is not so high when we compare with Canada, United States, or Europe. Here, the number is around 10%, 12% per year. But I think that this number could improve considering this point that we call it like limits of the souls.
So we are talking 10% of soul mortality, and is this happening in the first cycle? Where do you observe it the most, the highest mortality?
Yeah, the most is concentrated in the first cycle, but also there is a high number in the 5, 6 cycles too. The extremes of the cycle of the souls is worse.
And is really where I was discussing with a colleague a few days ago. We're just talking about exactly that we have been focusing a lot in the number of piglets. And we maybe are forgetting some key aspects, as you so well highlighted. You pointed out straight ahead. You say we have problems with health, we have problems with longevity, we have this resilience problem. I think in general that we're observing with the animals. So. What is this physiological aspects of the modern cell that you see, that we observe?
Yeah. For me, the most important point is the oxidative stress. I think that this high production that is related to high needs of energy, and as consequence, the mitochondria activity results ROS, reactive oxidative substance. So the consequence of the ROS is the worsening of the immunity, the mortality as consequence to the digestibility is impaired, the immunity, as I said, and aspects of physiology are related to considering in the first time the ovulation, after the elongation of the embryo, and finally the growth of the fetus. This point is very, very important, and I think that the souls have the capacity to improve these numbers, but we need to support them with many points, additives or management, environmental.
So, in terms of oxidative stress, we have been seeing also with growing pigs when we do a challenge and we have this response. Sometimes you can have animals that are receiving a higher level of nutrition, and they have actually a worse response to oxidative stress, right? They're not so ready to deal and clear that or have such a ready response. For cells, when you say that we can manage that, do you have any clues for us how we can go in that direction?
Good question, Aline. We did a survey with our students using 138,000 souls during 2 consecutive years. And we considered some production factors related to genetic factors, nutritional factors, environmental factors. And we did a relationship with the reproductive parameters. Regarding the nutritional aspects or factors, we consider just 3 points: the energy of the diets, the protein level, and the lysine level. And we observed, considering this high number of souls, considering the limits of the 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 use of energy for these farmers. For example, the inferior limit and the superior limit of energy of the diets, the protein level, the inferior and the superior limits analyzing the same line. When the level of the rations increase, the reproductive results increase too. They are synergic. That means that the source is dependent of high levels today. Of course, we need to consider specific ingredients, of course. But when we consider the three main ingredients, nutrients or energy, it is very interesting because the relation is very, very high with a significant result.
So you observe that an increase in lysin protein to energy ratio actually improve the
Yes,
reproductive response, or like in general the response of the cells?
in this case, I prefer to indicate just souls.
So they improve. That's very interesting.
It's important to register that we need to consider that the limits of these nutrients were established um, in specific limits. Okay,
Yes.
out of these limits, I don't have any response. Yeah.
That is interesting. I think that is a good clue for us to be looking in.
Also, because the number of souls and the number of cycles that were evaluated is very high.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you see as aspects that have been worsened, that are deteriorating in the modern soul?
The immunity, for me, is a problem. There are two aspects related with this problem. The high number of piglets born uh, with the consumption of the colostrum is reduced proportionally. Also, the quality of the colostrum is impaired, and it's very interesting when we try to improve these aspects using additives like probiotics, prebiotics, and we saw that these additives show good responses, especially over the quality of the colostrum. Our experience showed that the man immunoglobulins reach 50% more when we compare with the control group. Yeah, it's very, very high. Yeah. Considering AG, A, M, and G. Yeah.
So, in terms of probiotics and prebiotics, are also you implying that might have a relationship between gut and this overall health of the cells?
Of course. They are very, very relation.
Okay, that is something that we have historically overlooked in pigs, right? I think I always joke that I went to work with pigs because I didn't want to work with the bacteria in the ruminants, and we end up here again that we somehow are now looking how we can actually nurture these bacteria to actually improve the health of the animals. It's a very dependent relationship between the host and this bacteria.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
In terms of when you did these studies that you give prebiotics, that you gave to the cells, have you also did you observe anything in terms of piglet robustness or survival, or you didn't look in these aspects?
Sure. When we restart the lactation phase with a good colostrum, the consequence is obvious. So we observed a reduction of diarrhea, and as consequence, the final way at the winning it was better. Yeah.
I mean, I think it tells a lot when you say that you increase the immunoglobulins by 50%. I think that is,
Yeah, no, it's
just
very impressionant. We see these values when we analyze the colostrum and also the serum of the piglets, and there is a correspondence. Yeah.
in terms of features to further improve performance. You see that we can, and I think it's important here that we define what is performance, because often when we'll talk about performance, people will think that we're talking about increasing the number of piglets, and I don't know how you see that, but I think around here we're talking much more about actually improving the piglet robustness and the sow robustness, and not the amount of piglets. I don't know. How do you see that? What are the aspects that we can still improve?
Aline, we can discuss about the number of piglets per sow per year in Brazil, and the average is 30 piglets per sow per year. The average, okay, but I think that it's possible to reach 35. It's not so impossible, okay, with quality. I think that a number above these these values is very difficult to reach. Okay, but we need to support this soil with additives that is related with antioxidant effects, improving the feed consumption, improving the immunity, and we need to attack with different front because the problem is not specific. Of course, the oxidative stress, as I mentioned, I think that is the most problem of the modern souls, and it has some consequence related with these points, but we need to attack with different fronts.
So when we're talking 30 to 35, we're talking born alive, or we're talking winning these animals? Winning.
Yeah, we need piglets
Okay.
per sow per year. Yeah.
Yes. And when you say winning, are you winning at 21 or 28 days?
Today, the average is around 23, 25 days.
Okay, we're also increasing a little bit this.
Yeah. The last years. Yeah.
Yeah. And if we go back to the soil nutrition, how do you see? We're talking about feed additives that can help and improve gut health, that can improve oxidative response of the cells. In terms of nutrition and feed ingredients, do you see something else that we can do differently than what we're doing today?
No, exactly. But I think that the high levels, considering a broad vision of the ration is important. Of course, there are some additives that I think were interesting, like additives that improve the consumption, additives that improve the oxidative stress, additives that is related with the duration of the fairing. It's a great problem today. So when we consider the use of these additives, I think that it's possible to improve the number of weaned piglets. Yeah. Of course, the management, the environmental, the additives do not run alone. We need to support with other things. Yeah.
And in your experience, what have you been seeing in the field that is working?
We had a good experience with an additive based in alkaloid of pimentos,
Yeah,
capsaicin,
capsaicin.
an alkaloid of this fruit. The effect is very, very high, strong, based on three or four different activities, like an antioxidant effect, anti-inflammatory effect, improving the consumption, that is improving the appetite of the souls, and also reducing the sensitivity of heat stress, especially in tropical countries like Brazil. This point is very important.
That's true.
This product or this principle is very strong. Yeah, we had good experiences working in tree studies, but also observing the commercial farms that use this product. Yeah.
It's time for our famous three.
For swine nutritionists and veterinarians seeking more effective solutions to support nursery pig performance, Vivo Vital from DSM Firmenich is an ultra-pure form of benzoic acid that, when used as a feed acidifier, enhances nutrient digestibility and optimizes post-weaning growth rates. Research has shown Vivo Vital improves average daily gain, average daily feed intake, and feed to gain when fed in starter rations at a 0.5% inclusion rate. Get better post-weaning performance. Learn more at dsm-firmish.com/vivovital.
We are arriving towards the end of our episode here. And we have our famous three questions that I think I always enjoy because people end up relating. And so, in your opinion, what is the swine textbook or resource that you always recommend and that you think everyone should give a look?
I like very much the old books because they have a good information, the base of some aspects, and I have three books for me are special. The neonatal pig is of Hollis, I think. Pond Manner with growth and growth of the pig, and management and nutrition of the pig. This book is very interesting. But considering the dynamic of our area, it's very difficult to use these materials every day. The things change every day. The paradigms are broken all day, and of course, I prefer to search using internet, to reading specific papers, trying to find that we need.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes it's like, but we always end up going back to the old textbooks. I mean, they do have the basics don't change. I think what is like there is a lot that has been evolving and improving, but sometimes the basics are the basics. I think we still can trust them in some of these aspects. And what is the favorite book or movie or anything outside academia that you enjoy and you'd recommend?
My father recommended when I was a teen a book called Wind, Sand, and the Stars of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And this book was very important for me when I was a teen. And last year I read it again. to try to view with other eyes the information about some aspects related with our life. It's very, very interesting.
I'll give a look into that. And in your opinion, what is that sets a successful swine professional apart from the others?
Well, I work with students a long time, and for me, the dedication is crucial. The promptness, the suitability, and the broad vision. Especially in our country, the specialization is important, but we still have some basic problems. So we need to see the things using this vision.
So that concludes another episode of Swine Canada presented by Wazenetics. Thank you, Dr. Silva. And thank you at home for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to stay updated on future episodes. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. Your feedback is invaluable for us. Until next time, this is Aline Remus from Swine Canada signing off.